Did you know that a recent study has shown that 59% of people that use social media reported that it affects their mental health? Today, we're going to be discussing how social media and society has planted one big illusion and is a big contributor of depression, and why it's just all one big facade. For those of you, if it's your first time, I welcome you. For those of you, if you're back, welcome back. My name is Joe. I'm an entrepreneur, investor, business, life, and relationship coach. So like I said, guys, we're here today to discuss how social media and the pressure of modern day society affects self-confidence and self-image. I notice on social media and society in general, there's a huge demand to be perfect, be in great shape, have the most money, be the most beautiful, the most handsome, be the most successful, have the best family, the biggest engagement ring. You know what I'm saying. But the problem is, I've learned that the majority of it is just a mirage. A lot of this isn't what it's all cracked up to be. I mean, we live in a society where people are more depressed than ever. And it's sad to say that there's so many people that derive their self-respect, their self-image, and the way they feel about themselves about how many likes they got on a fucking Instagram post. I mean, how asinine is that modern day? I'm going to give you an example. So when you go on Instagram or any other site and these people use these filters and make themselves look beautiful, and then you see them and then you see them in real life, it's like, why would you post a picture of yourself? You don't even look like that. Now, me personally, I'm not into social media because I don't like going down that rabbit hole. I don't really care about what other people are doing. Anyone that's close enough to me, I keep in contact with. Occasionally I'll scroll and listen, watch some funny reels and whatnot, but I don't really care about what anyone else is doing because I'm focused on what I'm doing and I'm staying in my lane. Looking at what other people are doing and how happy they are and how they're always traveling and how it looks like they're never working and all they're doing is traveling and they got all this money, just makes you feel like shit. And I think that's why we have a huge problem with depression now, because people are addicted to caring about what other people are doing, and then they want to look beautiful, so they post a picture and they use all these filters and these apps that, like, you see these people and like, that doesn't look like you though, and that's okay. But like, I'm gonna see you out in public somewhere and you don't look that way. If you want to give off that facade, that's completely great, but you and I know that you don't look like that. The biggest pet peeve to me is when people go out of their way to look so happy when they're miserable. A lot of families, a lot of couples, whoever it may be. I heard this story one time. This family was in a restaurant being waited on by this guy, and there was a brother, a sister, there was 2 or 3 siblings, and then parents. And we're all fighting, saying horrific, horrible things to each other for 10, 15, 20 minutes, cursing, I hate you, I hate you. And it's like, oh, do you mind getting a photo of us? And then the waiter goes to take a photo, and out of nowhere, it completely stopped. It stopped, and they took a few pictures like they were the happiest family in the world. Took a minute or two to upload it on social media, and then went right back to arguing and screaming at each other. So it just goes to, I know modern day statistics that show that the happiest people don't spend their time posting on social media. You could take photos while you're away on vacation with your significant other, your family, and then maybe after, just post a bunch of photos. I understand that, but when you're away somewhere with a loved one, are you actually enjoying your time? If you're spending every waking moment posting to your story and posting pictures when you should just be enjoying your time and being present with that person. I know there's a lot of controversy here, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong way or the other. This is just how I kind of feel about it. There's a couple other examples that we shouldn't really pay attention to. Flaunting things on social media that people can't afford. I mean, I know it looks like everybody's got so much money, but you don't know their circumstance. They're going to play it off like hard work pays off, but you don't know who gave them money. A lot of times now, families are giving them their houses. They're giving them money. We're in generational wealth more than ever now. There's a lot of old money being thrown around. People aren't really working for things anymore, but they're sure as hell making sure that they're putting it out there like they broke their ass this week to fucking work. And it's like, yeah, well, anyone that's really done it knows. I'm going to give you a story. So I was out at a bar one time, and I was with a group of people, and someone had brought a Ferrari there, and it was outside. And we couldn't really see it, But we knew it was there. Nothing was going to happen to it. And we go to leave, and we noticed when we left the sidewalk side, the front of the car over the front wheel, I believe that was the passenger side because it was pointing the other way, had a bunch of handprints on it. And you could tell that people were just walking by this car and just leaning on it and taking a picture of it. And someone came across the car through a mutual friend where someone took a picture of it and quoted, "Hard work pays off." And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, you don't know if these people actually worked for these cars, it was given to them, or it was rented. It could just be one big facade. You don't know. Same thing goes with these engagement rings. Everyone's got this pressure to get the biggest rock for these people. I know it's not everyone, because you got blood diamonds, this whole political thing about it. I don't want to get into it. It's not about that. But there's all these people now that think they're slick. You want to buy a lab-grown diamond? That's completely fine with me. I don't care what you do. You know what bothers me? When you buy a lab-grown diamond, you post it on Instagram, and then people ask you, and you play it off like you bought a mined diamond for it. I understand you don't need to buy a mined diamond. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is, why are you paying $3,000 instead of $30,000 so you can make everybody think that you spent 30 grand? Just gonna make people feel like shit. Again, that's why we don't pay attention, because you don't know. It's all fucking mirage with this shit. That's why I don't go on social media, because you don't know what these people's actual circumstances. For all you know, their parents could have bought them a fucking $10,000 ring. Look how hard I work. It's like, listen, I see your house. I know what you do for a living. And I'm not trying to size people up and judge. It's like, don't try to play me and try to convince me that you are able to afford. Someone's helping you. And that's completely fine and dandy, but don't try to make me feel like I'm not good enough because you're in that house and you got help, or you got this and you got help, and you're trying to play it off like you're a hustler. That's where a lot of people become depressed, because it's never like there's that big controversy about people taking steroids now and claiming to be natural. Oh, I'm in such great shape and I'm all natural. You're just going to make people feel like shit, because you're putting an image out there that's not realistic unless you take synthetic drugs. I don't care what anybody says. Synthetic drugs are going to do more for you than anything that you could possibly do natural. At least that's what they say, and that's what I believe. Same thing with this new weight loss drug coming out. This is my favorite. I overheard a guy at the gym about a week ago who got absolutely emaciated in like 6 weeks. And I don't know for a fact if that was the case, but I've seen this guy at the gym for a while. He looked the same for a long time. But I do know people like that are going around, they're taking this weight loss shot, which I don't know the health benefits or not. You want to take it, good for you. I'm not saying I'm anti-weight loss shot. I personally don't believe in it, but that's just my opinion. Going around telling people, yeah, I've just been working out more and like watching what I eat and stuff. I'm like, bro, you fucking lost like 40 pounds in 6 weeks. How the fuck is it possible you just changed all your shit like that? I mean, is it possible? Yeah. Is it likely? If I was a betting man, I would say you're probably full of shit. But in any case, it's going to make other people that are really putting the effort in and working hard, because weight loss and progress takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's going to make them feel like shit. Like, wow, this guy did all natural. What the fuck is wrong with me? And then it's going to make people scale back, because people just don't want to admit, hey, listen, if you want to cut fucking corners, that's completely fine with me. It's your business. It's your life. Cut fucking corners. But don't go around and tell people that you're doing it on the up and up when people are actually trying to do it. And don't post it all the way either, because all you're going to do is make people feel like shit. That's just my opinion. Same thing goes with plastic surgery and then saying you got absolutely no work done. I think we're all kind of woken up to that, though. And a big one for social society, and I don't think this is about social media so much. This is more about society and how people view you and being ridiculed, and there's a lot of pressure for families and always looking happy. There's a lot of people that are silently suffering in their relationships, at work, in their families, because to make a move to maybe get divorced or leave a toxic relationship, or speak up to your boss, or do something in any situation you're in, there's so much backlash from society, like, oh my God, it doesn't matter what you do, you stick it out and you work it out. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that if it's affecting your health, but there's so much pressure that people, like I said about the story that I said earlier, will just go out of their way to make it seem like they're the perfect family, or they're in the perfect relationship, or they have the perfect job, and they're in absolute fucking turmoil, and it's silent suffering, because they're so concerned about the way society and other people that don't even care about them view them. And that's the biggest problem that we have with social media and society now. That's why I stay off of it, because it becomes toxic after a while. It's just all negative and toxic shit just to it's literally just one big dick swinging contest at the end of the day, it feels like. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really too interested in looking at that shit and feeling that way and trying to compare myself with other people, because it doesn't really fucking matter. What I'm going for, I'm on my own journey, I stay in my lane, and I hope some of you feel that same way. I want to thank you guys for joining me for another random video. This one was just off the top of my head, so it wasn't anything too constructive or too crazy. Just wanted to get it out there. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do. Appreciate you guys watching once again. Check you on the next video.